AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time for a lot of you, sending you into a holiday weekend. We're glad you are driving home with us. Very glad to have CJ Ross in studio with us, LSU second-year linebacker. Hey, man, thanks for coming in, man. How are you?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I'm going to get you close to that mic. There we go. Yeah, man, he's got to be close to it. Hey, man, it's good to see you again. I think we had you in studio back in January, or last January, right? So, man, completely different world. So your 5 practices into spring, if I just said, hey, man, first 5 practice, what would have been your big observations or takeaways? What would you say?
Definitely the tempo of the practice, how fast it is now. So that's definitely one takeaway.
Yeah. What can you maybe elaborate a little bit more? Like, what parts are y'all going really fast? How does it maybe compare or contrast to what y'all did before?
I would definitely say like the team periods, like where everybody's together. That's definitely way more faster than last year's. But like everything else, like 7-on-7 and things like that, is kind of like regular tempo. But like when you with 11-on-11, that's when I would say it's like the ball's gonna be way much quicker.
We talked to Lane last week, and he was asked about that, about the tempo, and one of the things he said was, it's obviously great. The offense needs to get used to that. He said, but it's also great for the defense because there's no tempo they're going to see that's faster than this. So do you feel like you're like going against the LSU offense is conditioning you for this?
Yeah, I definitely say it's like conditioning us for like the season, and like we have multiple games where we're going to play a team with a quick tempo, but I don't know if there's one as fast as the tempo that we're going against every day. Yeah, man.
It's well, I'd love to see it. Hopefully they give us an opportunity to see some of that in practice. We haven't gotten to see that yet, but what's maybe the biggest challenge or adjustment when you are going against tempo like that every day?
Basically, like from going from one play, getting the play again, and just kind of like slowing it down and processing everything before the next play starts.
So give me an example. Like so whistle blows, plays dead. How much time do you have until the ball snapped?
I don't want to exaggerate it, but I'd probably say like 10 seconds. That's kind of what it feels like when you're out there, but it's probably like a little bit much slower than that.
So
looking in.
But even if it's 10, 12 seconds, all right? So that's a good point of reference here. So what happens for a defensive player in those 10 seconds?
Well, let's just say I'm covering somebody down the field like a running back. You run, cover, then you got to hurry up, run back before the next play starts.
But are you getting like a play call from the coach, from the sideline? I mean, because you have a green dot. Who's the green dot when you're on the field?
It's always the mic. So the mic's going to echo the call, but most of the time they're going to want us to look at the sideline anyway so that we can echo it.
Okay. So it's not necessarily them radioing into the mic and the mic making the call. Everyone's looking at the sideline for the play?
Yeah, it's both. Like every play, the coach is going to say like the play in the green dot. I didn't want to say the play. Well, like they're going to say the play.
That's fine.
They're going to say the play in the green dot, but like they're going to want the D-line, the linebackers, and all the other players to look over to the sideline just to get it, to make sure.
CJ Ross in studio with us. Tigers 5 practices in spring, first spring under Lane Kiffin. Also, your position coach Blake Baker is back, but now Chris Kiffin's coming in as well as co-DC and working with linebackers. How's that going with Blake Baker and Chris Kiffin kind of co-handling your position group?
It's definitely great. Of course, you get another mindset, like, in the backer room, and, like, he's an elite coach. He's coached at the NFL level and different college levels, so it's great learning from somebody else.
I'll come back, go a little deeper. One of my takeaways, just kind of observing Chris Kiffin, he seems like a genuinely really good dude that maybe is really relatable for the players as well. Do you see some of that? Like, I mean, it's been early. I mean, right? I mean, it's just 5 practices in, but you see any of that?
Yeah, I definitely do. Like, he's a great guy to talk to. Like, he can joke around. We can crack jokes, but, like, he going to make sure we all locked in.
All right, cracking jokes. I asked Jakeem this the other day when he was in studio. What'd you think about Lane Kiffin's music?
It's definitely different, I would say. It's different.
All right, I would be real with you. I think it's weird. Some of the songs I like, right? Like, I'm a 43-year-old guy. I'm close to Kiffin's age, probably a lot of the same things. But it feels like, you know, Belinda Carlisle and Eric Prides are probably not the things that are getting 20-year-old football players fired up to go smash heads with other 20-year-old football players. Fair? Unfair?
Well, like,
You try not to get in trouble.
I don't really need music to, like, get in that mode, but, like, I'll definitely say, like, he does mix Young Boy in there, so.
Okay. All right. So it gets a little bit. It's like 1 out of 20.
I say a little bit more than that.
Okay. All right, man. Respect. CJ Ross is in studio with us. I want to go back to Coach Baker and Coach Chris Kiffin, you know, your position coaches. Like, how much time do you spend with each? Like, how much time are you with Coach Baker? How much time are you with Coach Kiffin?
So I try to at least meet with, like, individual, like, well, we meet with our position coaches as a unit, like, all linebackers, we meet with them. And then, like, if you want extra work, then you could just, hey, like, Coach, can we meet? And then I'll probably text each one of my coaches that, like, probably 2 times a day.
So when you meet with your position coach, are you meeting with Coach Kiffin or Coach Baker?
Coach Kiffin.
Okay. So how is that divided? Because today, I was telling you this off air, and for our audience who missed the practice report earlier, I spent a lot of time watching the defense. It was interesting because it's sometimes it looks like they're splitting the linebacker room. Sometimes, like one period I was watching today, all of the linebackers were there, and Coach Kiffin and Coach Baker were working with them. So how are y'all breaking up the practice with the coaches respectively?
They both coach us equally, but we definitely do break it, like, separated, just in case, like, the mics need a certain, like, a certain work that the Wills don't get, that will, like, how would I word this? Like, so say if the Wills need to be able to cover somebody man on man, like, the Mike's most likely not doing that from the box, from the middle of the box.
So the Wills would go with Blake Baker?
It depends.
Okay.
They just flip-flop sometimes.
Okay. So Coach Kiffin and Coach Baker are both coaching Mikes and Wills?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. So, and you're working mostly as a Mike, right?
No, I'm at Will.
Okay, you're at Will. So who else is working with you as weak side backers?
You know, Wit, and then, like, we always mix it up. So sometimes I might go to a different position and somebody else come in.
Yeah. It also, like, I know Coach Baker is also coaching the star linebackers as well, and some of those guys, like when I'm looking at those position groups, like some of them are safeties and some of them are linebackers. And that's actually kind of been how it's gone the last 2 years, right? I mean, Perk was a linebacker. The year before that, you weren't here yet, but was Major Burns, who was a safety. Like, if I asked you if you were to describe that star linebacker position, how would you describe what that role is?
I'd definitely say somebody that's, of course, can cover elite and blitz and come in the box and fit the run.
Yeah. It looks like Deshaun has been that guy so far that's running with the ones in that role. That's who's, at least when we've gotten to see the 11 on 11s. What do you think about him in that role this year?
You know, he's a great player, so I feel like he can play anywhere he decides he wants to play.
Yeah. CJ Ross in studio with us. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. We'll talk to you a little bit more about the rest of the defense, maybe some of your observations as well from some of the offensive guys. So we'll do that as we continue. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. It's a Thursday edition of AFR. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Stick around.
After further review.
You know, I tell you about Darren James. I do often highlight the fact that Darren sells more homes than anyone. But I think maybe the most important part to highlight is why Darren is able to sell more homes than anyone. Because when you work with Darren James, it's like the Ritz-Carlton. It's like that level of attention when it comes to real estate. Darren wants you to feel the difference in how he communicates, how he markets your property. He's not just the best realtor in Louisiana. Darren James, number 13 in the United States of America when you're talking about the transaction side. So there's nobody that gets to a closing table more, and it's because of the level of service he provides his clients, which gets results. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Was this on Lane Kiffin's playlist?
Absolutely, yes, it was. Yes. Back to the 80s Trinix remix.
That was it, yeah. I got my Shazam out at practice every day. Like every time a song comes on, I hit Shazam, see what we're out there listening to. This will make you want to go run 110s?
Nah. Not too crazy.
Bro, Lane's music, his taste is so eclectic, man, what he's listening to out there. CJ Ross is in studio with us, LSU second-year linebacker. We were talking in the break, man, and I was asking you with Easter coming up if you were heading home, but obviously I'll have practice. But you were telling me also you had to sort of adjust your major because of workout schedule. Tell, if you would, fill our audience what you were telling me about school and your major and everything.
So I chose interdisciplinary studies so that I can have two minors, which are construction management and business management.
And what do you want to do?
I want to own my own businesses and be able to manage different businesses.
So you're 18. You said you said at the end of this month you'll be 19?
Yes, sir.
What's your birthday?
April 28th.
Because April, so you're 26 days away. So at the end of the month you'll be 19 years old. You're already working on starting a business. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to. I'm starting to open my LLC. I've been going through that process and things like that. I know it's kind of like you got to do like paperwork and things like that. So we're kind of going through that so that I get my trucking company, kind of get that running. So give me some more background because you're 18 years old, about to be 19. You want to start a trucking company. All right. So we're not talking about big rigs, right? We're not talking about 18-wheelers. What are we talking about? I definitely want to start off small so I can see like how everything works out and how like different loads, different times, and how like the schedule, the gas, and different stuff like that works out. So I'm going to start off small with like a cargo van. Then I'm going to try to make my way up to like more cargo vans, box, and then I'm going to try to hit an 18-wheeler.
How, and you told me the backstory because your uncle, tell our audience that if you would about furniture. Yeah.
So one of my uncles owned a furniture store. So he was telling me about like how different people come to Houston, and like, and they just try to pay people to get their loads and different cargo shipped, like furniture, to a different state that they work in. So I was just like, that's a great business opportunity.
I mean, that's really smart, dude. At 18 to be thinking like that, congrats, man. And you said you also want to do construction as well. Have you thought about what type of construction you might want to do?
Just management, like I was going through and like just looking at stuff, and with my advisor from last year not last year anymore, but like from 2 years ago in high school, and she was like, I think this is something you'll like. And then I started doing my own research and stuff on it, and I was like, yeah, I definitely like to manage things and see how things run.
I would say someone needs to hire you, but I think it sounds like you're going to work for yourself. But man, if somebody in those fields wants to mentor you, man, someone should reach out to you and get you under their wing, man. That's pretty awesome. So congrats on that. You're hopefully you go play football for the next 20 years and you go to the Hall of Fame. I mean, that would be an ideal situation. But looks like you're gonna have a lot to fall back on too, which is really cool. We spent the first segment talking a lot about defense. I'd love to get a thought on the offensive guys that you're going against. It's a totally new offensive line from a year ago. Braylon's back. I don't know Weston's back, but most of that room is new guys. What have been your impressions of them so far?
On like just the O-line.
Yeah, the O-line.
The O-line, they definitely coming up off the ball. So like you got to play slow as a backer. Like when you just got to know your personnel pretty much. So if they coming off the ball fast, then like I just got to play lateral and be able to move my feet.
Has anybody caught your eye so far?
All of them, be honest. Like all of them, they got like their own little thing where it's like, yeah, this guy's.
Who do you end up like engaging with the most? The guards probably coming off the ball.
Yeah.
You can give me jersey numbers if you don't remember names. Because, dude, trust me, I'm out there every day with a roster like who's 55 is Bob. I'm like, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. All of the guards kind of like, they all kind of play the same, be honest. Like, they all trying to get after it.
Yeah.
So I definitely say they all play common.
Do you think, have you noticed and I didn't prep you for this, so if you don't have an answer, that's really okay. I just thought of it. Have you noticed, like, stylistically, a difference with Lane Kiffin's offense, like the style of player, either quarterback, skill guys, linemen that he recruits to a certain type?
So yeah, I'll talk about the personnel before I talk about like the plays and stuff. So the personnel, yeah, like I can definitely tell like it's our receivers from last year, they were definitely like shifty and fast. So he kind of keeps he wants the same people like around the shifty, fast receivers. Then of course you got like deep threats receivers that like can go take somebody up top. So yeah, we have a few of those, and then like our quarterbacks, yeah, they slinging the ball and they can run the ball, but like everybody has some teams like that. So
that's a big difference. Though, is like they're working a lot. Like what we notice is he's running the quarterbacks, right? I mean that's going to be a part of it. The receiver thing's interesting because just from my observation, those dudes look big. And maybe just because I'm used to seeing Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas and Barry Brown. You said like smaller, shiftier. And then you look out there, and these dudes are like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Am I kind of reading that right, you think? I mean, the bigger receivers?
Yeah, they're definitely like by 6'2", 6'3", and they definitely can move like pretty well. So I'll say.
Who you hate to cover? When you got to turn and run and cover, who you hate to cover?
Mostly it'll probably be a running back. So, like, I can't remember the running backs' names, but, like, they'll come out flying like 100 miles per hour. So you got to get hands on them or you're going to get beat. So
they got 4 new running backs too, man. I mean, it's like it's so interesting too because I mean you're learning it too with all the new guys out there, just like we are. CJ Ross is in studio with us here. Let me ask you also about Witt because I know you mentioned him a bit ago. He's obviously not participating right now, but what's it like for your position group having him back?
It's definitely great. You know, I call him, Devon. Like, if I have questions, like if I'm just watching film by myself, I'll just call one of them and just be like, hey, like, did I do this right? Or like, just ask questions. And they'll, of course, like they're older guys, so they're just gonna like be like, give me the honest truth. Like they'd be like, nah, or like they'd be like, yeah, you did that right.
What about TJ Daugherty coming in from Ole Miss? What have been your impressions of him so far?
Great guy. He definitely has a lot of fire behind him, as you could tell, like just watching him. So like he'll make a play and you'll hear it. So that's the type of people you like to be around.
He's vocal on the field?
Yeah.
Who's the opposite of that? Who's someone who's maybe not as vocal? They make a play, but just don't say much.
In the back room?
Anywhere, I guess.
I'd definitely say PJ then. PJ, he'll talk, but like he won't. I've never heard like none of the DBs really talk trash to nobody.
Who is the biggest trash talker on the team? I know last year it was Bernard Gooden. Like, I talked with Bernard about this. Like, there was one practice I remember when Brian Kelly went over the defensive line. He was like, man, shut the up, like, because he just never stopped talking the whole time. Who's that guy this year so far? Who talks a lot?
We don't really have too much of that, but of course, not too many people gonna be talking because they don't like, it's just practice number 5. So
yeah. Got a couple more for you. What about the quarterbacks? I'd love to ask you about each of them individually, if I could. Let's start with Sam Levitt, who they brought in. Obviously, he's not doing any of the 11-on-11 stuff right now, but he's probably gonna be the starter and the leader of the team. Yeah. So, what's been your takeaway so far from Sam?
He's a great guy. Like, when he's just throwing the ball, just throwing it like I wouldn't say like team period, but we do have periods where like it's like not tackle, not thud, and it's just like no D lineman, but it's just like we're all getting work in. And he always encouraging other guys, like the receivers and stuff like that.
And then what about Landon Clark?
Yeah. He definitely can sling the ball. I'm not gonna lie, he can sling it. But Sam can definitely sling it too.
Oh, they all can sling it.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, they all. I mean, even Husan, which is interesting because he kind of has. We talked about it with our audience. He's kind of got this like 3/4 delivery. But boy, it comes out fast. Like it's like boom. It's impressive.
Yeah, and they all will look you off too. So like you can't just be trying to be eyes on the quarterback because they'll definitely like look this way and then the ball will be going somewhere else.
Who made the craziest play so far? That catch that Jabari Mack made went viral on social. The one-handed catch in the end zone.
We see a lot of crazy plays. It's LSU, so but I definitely say that was one of the crazy plays.
That's fair. Hey, before you go, let me ask about you a little bit. How are you physically? Size, weight, like you bigger from last year?
Definitely. Like I had to put on like 10 pounds of muscle, and I had to I sat down with the nutritionist multiple times to like get on a meal plan where they just helped me plan my meals out. Because at first I was just eating. So like now I got scheduled meal times and stuff like that so that I can like lose fat and gain muscle in certain aspects. So right now I'm at like 225. I think I weighed in this morning before practice like 224.
What were you when you came out of high school?
Out of high school I was like 205.
Okay, so then last year during the season, what did you play at?
Around like 215.
Okay, so you graduated at 205. Last year you got up to 215. Now you're at 225.
Definitely.
Have they told you like a weight they want you to be at?
Yeah, I talked to my coach Baker. He wanted me at like 220.
Okay,
but I'm at 225 right now because like throughout the season you might not like be able to eat as much and stuff like that, so you might be dropping throughout the season.
Yeah, you carry the weight well too. So what about like goals for the season? Do you set individual goals for yourself?
Of course, like every day. Like some people might be like, yeah, that's crazy, but like I have the Heisman Trophy as my lock screen. So
look at this. Can you show that to that one right there? Can you see his lock screen on his phone is the Heisman Trophy?
Yeah, but
how long have you had that as your lock screen?
Probably like a few weeks now.
Okay. So why'd you do that? Because
like I know the Heisman Trophy, like that's the top of the top trophy that you can win out of college. So like you always set your goals high, like as high as you should.
That's pretty incredible, man. Especially as a defensive player too. So I mean, when you think about, do you set goals like number of tackles or sacks or anything like that? Like do you write down goals like that?
I tried to like in high school and stuff like that, but I've always felt like if I say like, yeah, I'm gonna get this many, then I don't think it's going to end up going that way. So I just go out there and just play my hardest, try to cause havoc. Yeah.
So tell me, man, with 10 more practices in spring, if I said, okay, what would you like the conversation to be about C.J. Ross at the end of spring practice? What would you say you want it to be 10 more practices from now?
The conversation I want somebody to say is like, yeah, he's a havoc player. Like he's gonna make havoc plays, like PBUs, sacks, like just all of them in one.
Yeah. Man, you're on your way, dude. I'm excited for you to hear everything you got going. Not only on the field, but obviously in your personal life with the birthday coming up and maybe a new business starting as well. Got a lot of irons in the fire, man. It's really impressive. We appreciate you for coming in and for taking some time to chat with us, man.
Sir, thank you for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure. LSU linebacker C.J. Ross hanging out in studio with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. I do want to remind you about Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Tell you all the time. Kill mold, remove odor. They'll come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. If you've never checked it out, you need to. Get to the website, ParishRestoration.com. If you have mold or think you might, if it's odor from smoke or sweat or pet odor, they can knock that out for you. You need to sanitize your space. Parish Restoration can do that as well. You know, when cold and flu season are here or just anything going on, they'll come in, they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. You let it dwell. As soon as it dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clear, clean, sanitized, great smelling. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Final Four is this weekend. By the way, you a basketball fan?
Not too much. Try to every now and then. Though.
NBA or college?
I definitely say NBA.
Okay, so do you even know who's in the Final Four? It don't matter.
I know. Not really.
Yeah, it don't matter. I was going to ask you if you had a pick. But it's all right. No worries. We're going to knock out a break, come back, and we're excited. Mike LaTulip's going to be here with us to kind of give us a little breakdown of the Final Four. So don't move. That's coming up next here on AFR.
After further review.
All right, y'all. It's 80 degrees outside right now. If you have not yet had your AC tune-up, it is time. I'm going to hammer this message home for the next month or so. We're getting into the warm weather months. We're going to have triple-digit temps before you know it. Make sure River City's 1 Hour Air comes out to your house and does your AC tune-up. Cannot recommend this highly enough. If you can't remember the last time you did this, you're past due because you should do it every year. This is preventative maintenance. It'll extend the life of your unit. It'll take potentially small issues and prevent them from coming big, expensive issues. And this will also make your unit more efficient. So it'll save you money throughout the season on your cooling costs. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, if you join their membership club, the seasonal maintenance is complimentary. So give them a shout. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Bring the action.
When you have this in the club, you gotta turn it up. You gotta turn it up. You gotta turn it up. When we up in the club, all eyes on us. All eyes on us. All eyes on us.
You know, I saw a little bit of a practice. You can just tell that they're focused. And I mean, just by seeing how ready they are. I mean, just like I said, they've been. I think they've been the best team in college basketball all season. So I mean, it's something that, you know, I think they were expecting. But like I said, it's been a long time, so I think they're just going to hold it down until it happens.
It's Mike Bibby on Amber and Ian. Do you think Mike Bibby is a fan of Will.i.am?
I'm going to say no. Probably not. No.
I need a little more.
I don't think that's his vibe. I mean,
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Give me a little more, Muse. Come on.
A little more of the song?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Will.i.am and Britney Spears.
I mean, great combo, yeah.
I think Mike Bibby and I are the same age.
Could be.
So I'm saying I think this is probably... Don't let it go. I'm gonna get to Mike. I know. We're going to go. Mike Bibby's 47, so he's older than me.
He was at Arizona in 97, right? Sounds right.
Bring on Mike LaTulip. Mike, are you a Will.i.am and Britney fan here?
Literally, that song was literally my freshman year of college.
So you're in. You're in, yeah?
I'm in.
See?
Yeah, very much so.
So this, believe it or not, you got to go a little louder because I know nobody in their car can hear it. This is part of Lane Kiffin's practice playlist out at Spring Drills. What do you think of that?
I don't hate that at all. I actually love that. Now that you say it, yeah, I'm in.
Right,
I like that point.
But here's the counter argument to it, Mike. It's 20-year-old football players. Like, I love it. I'm a 43-year-old guy.
They don't know.
I don't think they're really vibing to it, you know?
But that's the thing. I mean, I had teammates in college where, like, a vibe is a vibe, and I think for Lane Kiffin too, sometimes you gotta pump yourself up to run the squad.
What if I told you he also played a techno version of Love Story by Taylor Swift?
See, I also think there's some undercover Swifties out there too. I'm kind of picking up what Lane's putting down.
I feel like you and me and Lane are the same demographic, which is why you're picking up what he's putting down, and you're not putting yourself in the mindset of a 20-year-old college football player. He also had a Eric Pride's Call on Me.
Good, that's a good one as
See?
well.
I'm with you.
Good one as well.
I'm with you.
I think having a diverse flavor of music it's never the worst thing. Never the worst thing at all.
Unless if you're trying to fire up 20-year-old college football players.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Football and football specifically too. That's a tough one.
He had a Back to the 80s remix as well today. He played Zed, the middle.
Yeah.
David Guetta.
Now I'm sensing a trend.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely sensing.
You know what I mean? Anyway. Mike LaTulip is with us from the Field of 68. The Final Four is this weekend. Is this it? Did you expect this line of questioning, Mike?
I love it because I'm doing live shows down here at the Final Four, and it's a lot of Final Four talk. So that was a nice little change up there.
I know. You know what? Whenever we go do SEC football media days and stuff, and you end up having the same conversation 10,000 times over 4 days, it's like you do just the random Lane Kiffin playlist convo from time to time. So we'll get back to the boring stuff, the basketball, which actually isn't boring at all. It's going to be fascinating. Which national semifinal are you most looking forward to if you could only watch one?
Well, that's a tough one because I played at Illinois, and I also think that Arizona and Michigan have been from the majority of the season the two teams that have the best top gear out of any team. So as an alumni, I am most looking forward to the Illinois game, but I think that the broader college basketball fans are probably going to be more dialed into the Arizona-Michigan one. And, in a way, rightfully so. Those two teams, I'm not going as far to say, hey, that's the national championship. I don't really buy into that talk, but that's a heck of a semifinal game.
Why are you not buying into the convo about Michigan-Zona being the national championship?
I do think either of them can win the national championship. I just think that when you get into that national championship game, you're playing one of two teams. It's either a team that's going for their third title in 4 years, or it's a team in Illinois who is absolutely not going to be favored in that game, that has the skill offensively and an improved defense to make that game a game. And Illinois wants to play a lower possession game, which is what has beaten Michigan this year. Their Duke and Purdue losses were their two lowest possession games of the year. And same goes for UConn, too. I mean, if UConn, and same thing with Arizona. I mean, they want to play higher possession games. These are two teams in UConn and Illinois that want to play lower possession. So it's kind of a push and pull there.
Mike, it's fascinating because typically, even when you get to the Final Four, somewhere along the way, you'll have one matchup that you think it might be lopsided one way or another. And I'm a sports betting guy, but both these spreads are 1.5. And I don't love a side in either of these games. Is there a side in either of these games where you do feel bullish, either Illinois, UConn, or Michigan, Arizona, where you're bullish on one of those teams?
I don't think so. To be honest, I even when we're trying to do our breakdowns, you can break down kind of what you foresee. Hey, this is how Michigan could win. Hey, this is how Arizona could win. Illinois, UConn, but you could very well see the other team kind of thwarting that and stopping that. And they also had we sat down yesterday on our show and we were like, here are the keys to the Arizona Michigan game. And I think by the end of it, we had named 17 keys because it's just there's so much to cover because these teams are so good and these teams are so unique and with some of the style that they have and defensively, you got UConn's offense, which is very movement based and now centers a little bit around Terrace Reed, but they'll always have the movement, the cutting, the off-ball screening. Illinois is very matchup hunting. And then you got Arizona who, gets to the foul line more than really anybody in the country and scores more points in the paint than anybody in the country. And then Michigan is a team that's only given up. This is the stat that I always throw out there, but Michigan has given up 40-plus paint points twice this year. Arizona averages 42. And so at some point there's going to be something's got to give there in that area. So that's why you could just go back and forth on all these. And I think the big reason why the spreads are what they are.
He's at LaTulip_Mike on Twitter if you want to go give him a follow. That's a great number about the paint points in Michigan, Arizona. If I asked you, I think that's probably clearly where you think the game will be won and lost in that national semifinal. What about the Illinois-UConn game? I know you said there's 17 keys, but if I said, all right, Mike, we're going to look at the box score after Illinois-UConn, and my eyes are going to go straight to this number because that's probably going to tell me which way the game went. What would you say it is?
Offensive rebounding. If Illinois, who didn't win the rebounding battle against UConn in the first matchup, and a lot's changed since that first matchup, but if Illinois doesn't win the rebounding battle, particularly the offensive rebounding battle, then I think UConn could end up advancing. And then the key for UConn, and it sounds kind of trivial, they got to make shots. And I think that's a key where you look at Illinois and they're able to pound you, because if you don't shoot it well and they get you on that margin on the glass, they're just going to get more possessions. And so you can't level things out from a variance standpoint without making threes. And teams that have shot below 35, this is the number for you if you want to look at a number. Definitely the offensive rebound, but if I gave you another number, if UConn shoots below 35% from three, in games this year where Illinois has held their opponent under 35%, they're 21-2. Okay. So that and UConn struggled from three, but then you look and you're like, okay, they got hot late in that game. Is this like a jump off point and a springboard for Braylon Mullins to have like a 4 for 7 from three game? Caravan solo ball has struggled to shoot this year, but you're still paranoid all the same that this could be like the real breakout game. So those are the two numbers that I'll give you for that game.
It's so interesting because, Mike, part of me just sees UConn and Hurley and their recent success and go, well, it's got to be UConn, right? I don't know that I love them in this game, though. Do you have a lean in that first national semifinal?
Yeah, and trying to take the alumni hat off and keep the analyst cap on. Like, I really do lean Illinois. I think so much has changed since that first matchup. I think Keaton Wagler he had 3 points in that first matchup. They hadn't put him on the ball yet. And I like Illinois' ability to not let Terrace Reed completely dominate the game because of their size. And I also think they've just come a long way since that first matchup, especially defensively. So they're playing, and that's the thing in this tournament. Like it's always been in there for Illinois, but now I fully trust this team on the defensive end, and with their bite and with their toughness. And I think that's what you're going to need to knock off a Dan Hurley coach team. So I do lean Illinois in this one.
I have two more things in one's big picture. Do you think? I think this tournament has been awesome. We haven't seen maybe the Cinderellas like we typically would. And I think obviously that's just part of college basketball now with the transfer portal and things. But do you think portal NIL has actually made the product better because guys are staying in school and you're sort of or you maybe don't have the superpower, the wealth is sort of being spread, so to speak? You think we have a better product now?
I think it's the best it's ever been. It's especially from a talent standpoint. Now, you probably had more cohesive teams 10 years ago and some more like I'd say more detailed systems. But I think the talent's as good as it's ever been. To one, the portal and NIL particularly. Yaxel Lenneberg's he's a first round pick last year. If there's no NIL. But so you have a first-round pick coming back to college. Milos Uzan would have probably left for Houston last year. Tahad Pettiford might have left from Auburn. But then the international flavor too. I mean, that's on display in this Final Four with Arizona and Illinois kind of leading the charge there. So that's what stuck out to me the most, and I think it has made for such a great product because you have. I think from a talent standpoint, this is truly the best college basketball's ever been.
It's hard to argue. I mean, maybe in an era that I'm not familiar with 40, 50 years ago, maybe there's an argument to be made, but I tend to agree. And lastly, which coach in the Final Four do you think is most likely to have a playlist that mirrors Lane Kiffin's?
Gosh, I feel like sneaky Dusty May.
Okay.
And I think the reason for that is, and I think Tommy Lloyd might have this too, but Dusty has the college-age kids. I guess so does Dan. I mean, Brett Underwood does as well. Tommy Lloyd. I don't know. I mean, all four of them I think is on the table. All four of them I think would be – let's put it this way. I think all four of them wouldn't turn it off. Let's just say that.
Okay. Maybe you could ask them. You can have my question if you want. You get an opportunity, a little one-on-one. If you go to our station's Instagram, we're running Lane's playlist every day. You can maybe just swipe. Swipe left, and then you can see the whole playlist, run it by them, see what they think. Maybe just throwing it out there.
That's a great idea.
All right.
I'm into that.
We're just here to help. Mike LaTulip, field of 68. Y'all give him a follow at LaTulip_Mike. Enjoy the ball this weekend, man. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yep, it's our pleasure. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com. Grab you some. Weekends upon us. Stay hydrated. If you're going to be at a crawfish boil, maybe having a few cold pops, you should. Eating that crawfish, you should. Make sure you stay hydrated. Drink Evamore, especially as the weather starts to get warmer. Sweating, you got to make sure that you stay hydrated in these hot Louisiana spring and summer days. EVAMOR, delicious natural artesian water, healthier alternative, and a Louisiana product. So don't buy that water from Texas or from another country. Buy water from Louisiana. EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, been a great show. Our final show here of the week will be off tomorrow for Good Friday. You missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Always love telling you about Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Big thanks to Blasia and her team, our great partners here for our Thursday shows all throughout the year. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. We'll knock out a quick break, wrap up. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks, get some picks. Hopefully get some picks on the Final Four. We'll do that next. AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. 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 Someone asked me earlier today, the internet hasn't been around for 90 years. How can Rev be around for 90 years? Maybe a little tongue-in-cheek asking the question that way, but it's true. But remember, they do so much more than just be your internet service provider. And these companies that merged to form Rev have all been around. I'd tell you, like Guarantee, our company here has been around for 100 years. But Guarantee started as Gillico, the Guarantee Income Life Insurance Company. We didn't become a media company until 40, 50 years after the company's inception. So there's a lot of evolution. But the point is, the ownership, the local people, they've been here for 90 years serving our communities in Louisiana. REV. Let'sRev.com. 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 That's the website if you want to go to it. When you call Rev, you're going to talk to someone at a call center here. You're not getting forwarded to a call center overseas. They're local. They're affordable. Better customer service. Let'sRev.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Water, what up?
Hey, you ready? Let's get a little fun, little Holy Thursday money line parlay. You ready? Let's
go.
start out with that.
I'm
in
here
addition to, all right, New Mexico money line minus 162 right now at DraftKings.
Okay.
Auburn money line minus 345. So we're going to try and middle that one at Illinois State.
Okay.
OKC in the money line in the NBA.
What was the first one?
Sorry. New Mexico.
All right, New Mexico.
They're in the Crown.
Yep.
They're in the Crown.
New Mexico, Auburn, Illinois State, OKC.
Right. And the Braves minus 112.
I am here for all of this.
Yes. Nobody panic. It's okay.
What are we doing? I love it so much. All right, what else?
And the Giants, Tony V, plus 104. That pays plus 910. Let's go.
Let's go.
God bless America. Let's go.
Plus 910. All right, that's a 1, 2, 3. That's a 6-leg money line.
No big deal.
No, it's 6.
Get your boost.
New Mexico, Auburn, Illinois State, OKC, Atlanta, and the Giants. That's 6.
Right. My bad.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
Okay. All right. What's that pen?
My app is not loading right now, but if I can get it to load.
Oh, I mean, that's a good sign. They're afraid. They're afraid.
All right, here we go. So, all right, go to the rest of the picks, and I'll punch this thing out. I'll tell you what it pays.
Okay, Colucci pick. Give me my horn.
Got it!
Yes, indeed. Let's go to the Colucci pick in the NHL. The Montreal
1 minute
Canadiens,
remaining.
money line. The Ottawa Senators, money line. And the Vegas Golden Knights, minus the puck line, minus 1.5. Montreal, Ottawa, Vegas, puck line. We got Stanford plus 1.5 in the NIT. In the Crown, and we got Illinois State plus 7.5. I know we have Auburn money line. Things go fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to fall right in the middle.
Okay, so Auburn's playing Illinois State, so I got that wrong. So on the money line parlay, we're taking Auburn, right?
Correct. Auburn money line,
Got
Illinois
it.
State points.
Okay, all right, got it. So it's New Mexico, Auburn, OKC, the Braves, and the San Francisco Giants is the 5-teamer on the money line parlay. Got it. And then all the other stuff. And it's all up right now at LouisianaSports.net if you want to get it there. Y'all are off tomorrow, yeah?
No, we're working, man. Don't underestimate the work ethic of Live and Lunch. Come on. We're at Rapino.
AFR.
Somebody's got to gamble. All right, we're getting on down the road. We remind you about Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. I love our partnership with Our Lady of the Lake. The Our Lady of the Lake Foundation has a great event coming up soon, a London Calling at Early May. We'll start telling you more about that as well. But great people and a great resource in our communities. I've told you personally about the level of care that I rely on with Our Lady of the Lake. My own personal physician, Dr. Kurt Chastain, with Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group. Drew, last week we were at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. Dr. Shaw is Drew's neurologist, who we go see. We're there for his 6-month checkup. If it's heart, cancer, stroke, pediatrics, whatever specialty, you can trust the lake. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.